Okay, hello everyone. Thanks for being here. I know there's a lot of side events, many things going on in parallel, so I appreciate you coming here. And if you're a film lover, I think it's really amazing to be here on a movie stage like that. So I feel very lucky. Hopefully I'll make it fun for you and interesting for you. So I'll talk about liquidity aggregation and order routing. I think it's one of the areas that is a little bit underappreciated, I feel like, and users are still, not only trading on centralized exchanges, but even on DeFi trading, many users are not familiar with aggregation and what it can bring. So most of you, I assume, came from another city, maybe some other country, and for myself, I came from San Francisco. And probably what you were doing is looking at some travel aggregation site to find the best route. And there are so many routes you can take. There's no direct route from SF to Cannes, of course. You have to fly into Nice, but you take into many factors. Cost is one of them, but it's sometimes, a loyalty program that you want to get earned points and many other considerations. So right now, travel aggregators or aggregators in, Web 2 are really addressing a critical problem and making, saving money to users and making it really easy for users. So you can think of it for DeFi, a very complicated map. And I asked one of our algorithm developers actually to show me a map of DeFi in one of the chains and to see how complex that is and what it looks like. So he struggled to really visualize it because it's so complex, and then came up with this visualization, which is actually a little bit filtered. And on the left-hand side, what you're seeing is a visualization of an Arbitrum DeFi map. So each node is a token here, and each arrow is a route. And these routes are typically AMM equations that govern the relation between those swaps. And I think he filtered down to 4,000 tokens or so that we can see something. Otherwise, everything would be white. So it's really complex. It's orders of magnitude more complex than like a travel aggregation, what we are doing. And when you look at this map, of course, there's some pattern that emerged from it. It's not just made to look like that. You see that in the center, you have some small number of tokens in orange and blue at the center ring. So these are the most connected tokens. These are almost like hub tokens. And I think it makes sense if you're launching a new token, most likely you're gonna provide liquidity with a paired asset, and most people choose ETH or a stable coin. So there are really hub tokens that always are very well connected, and some of the, of course, other tokens on this ring are the most connected tokens, the others. So when you look at the second ring outside, these tokens are still connected to the hub tokens. There is a direct path, easier path, but at the very end, at the edge, you see these lonely, sparse tokens, which usually don't have direct connections to these hub tokens, and they have connections to perhaps another token in the second ring. And going there, from swapping from one token, in this case, I believe it's from going from green to blue. It's not an easy thing to find the optimal path, unfortunately. It's not like ranking which DEX has this simplest price. What we are doing is actually really complex path finding. So what Odos does, Odos is a leading DeFi aggregator, liquidity aggregator. In addition to aggregation of liquidity, optimizing the route is what we specialize in and bring value to users. And the routing engine basically filters and simplifies this complexity. So whenever a user would like to, wants to get a code, swap from token A to B, of course, at every block, we are building this graph, and from this graph, we need to simplify to the optimal value. And you need to do it really fast and cost-effective, because people are just entering values to swap, but not every code request results in a transaction. So it needs to be fast and cost-effective. So this is what Odos does, going through this very fast and efficient order routing to navigate users from A to B. And of course, superior routing delivers better rates. That's the whole purpose. And this is a snapshot from our front end. In aggregation, we would like to show transparently to users what kind of route the algorithm shows. So you don't only see a code result, but you also know exactly how the routing will happen. And in this case, for example, going from eat to die, the algorithm finds routes hopping over different assets, splitting your order, and doing really complex order routing. As you can see, this is just a random request, and feel free to try and find interesting pictures, Sankey diagrams like that. And by the way, these intermediate assets that you go through often have arbitrage opportunities that deliver, as part of the better price. So that's one of the reasons that we hop through different tokens. So as I mentioned, aggregation is a big part of this, and since we launched about 3 years ago, we've been aggressively aggregating on-chain liquidity, currently on 16 chains. And there are many different categories. This is just some categories that I picked. I'm sure we can break it into even smaller categories, but it's a variety of different sources. DEX pools with constant product AMMs like Uniswap v2. There are concentrated liquidity sources, hybrid stable AMMs, weighted AMMs, RFQ sources, which allow us to connect to off-chain liquidity, and so that we can include off-chain liquidity in an atomic route as well. So these are also very important. And as chains, faster and cheaper chains come up, of course, the centralized central limit order books, CLOPs, are also becoming popular, and are coming as well. So in order to provide this service and value, we need to be on top of aggregating all these liquidity sources into our optimization algorithm, and make sure that, of course, the security aspect of it is also solid. And all of them have different strengths and weaknesses, as you can imagine, from capital efficiency, of course, and some types are better for volatile versus stable, and some are more complex in terms of implementation and gas costs. So there are many strengths and weaknesses, but the value we bring is that by aggregating all these different types, that you don't need to worry about these things. We basically, make it easy for the users to deliver the best value in the end. Another thing I mentioned, coming back to the travel analogy, rewards, loyalty rewards are important. We also launched a rewards program, tokenized rewards program, to again bring users, give users back value when they keep using the same product. And currently, more than 100,000 users have, been claiming monthly rewards. These are basically cashbacks almost that give you a part of your transaction fees that you incur for eligible swaps. So I believe tokenized loyalty programs will continue to grow. I know that there is a lot of implementation in the industry, and some have been, I think, targeting mostly airdrops and rewards and not so much long-term loyalty, but I believe the breakthrough will happen when you have alliances of loyalty programs, just like airlines and hotels and different alliances, because individual loyalty programs are sometimes difficult to justify. So if you're building a loyalty program in DeFi, you can also talk to us and see how we can partner. I'm also very happy to announce that we are launching a totally new app design, coming with great features based on all the user feedback in the past couple of years. And in this, we are basically bringing multiple features that improve user experience, and I'll break it into a couple parts. And one of them is improved wallet connection. So believe it or not, still the number one issues that we are facing, emails and complaints from users, is something about their wallet, the type of wallet that they use, and some kind of problem that result in a bad experience, and they think that it's the Odos website is broken, or a transaction had a problem, but it's usually the wallets, and we are improving it by partnering with Dynamic and providing an embedded wallets. And it's not only user experience improvement for savvy users, but now onboarding users, first-time users who are maybe going to create their first wallets using their Google, Twitter, or Discord accounts, and just bring more people to DeFi. And I think that's our biggest challenge, just bringing users from centralized exchanges to DeFi and let them step into DeFi a lot easier. And wallets are the gateways to all of these apps, as you know. Another thing we worked on a lot on improving token selection, because living in a multi-chain world and having assets on multiple chains and cross-chain swaps, this is really becoming a big problem, like dealing with tens of thousands of tokens, custom tokens. So we improved that selection, worked on the user experience aspect, and will provide a lot an improved token selection interface very soon. The third one, protection, right? I think users are afraid of DeFi because, again, this is the second big complaint we get, is because of slippage, price impact, and sometimes mistakes from users who adjust their slippage for some volatile token and they forget to change it back, or some other reason. But this is a constant problem and causes users to lose a lot of money. And so we've come up with this product called Protected Mode, with just the toggle of a switch. We guarantee the rate, so what you see is what you get. There's no minimum amount or unknown slippage, but it's the guaranteed rate. Gas is included, and it's MEV protected, so it's all protected in one. So again, we're protecting users and bringing, hopefully, users who are used to centralized exchange and just have a very easy experience and get the amount, exactly what they see on the screen, and don't have failures. So more, of course, DeFi native users, advanced users can toggle off and adjust all the parameters they like. And finally, cross-chains. So until now, we've been doing this optimization in single chains, and finally we are launching cross-chains, working with the Across protocol. We went through many different options, as you can imagine. Unfortunately, there is no standard. There's no magic one solution that covers all the bridges. This is the reality we are living in. But hopefully with this solution, what we aimed was making sure that the chain coverage that we support is there, and the latency. We feel that waiting 10 minutes or many minutes is unacceptable, especially if you're doing a cross-chain swap and optimization. We would like to provide almost an instant swap experience for users, and hopefully we'll bring that to market and make a difference in this area. And before this talk, I was in an interoperability panel, actually, and this was #1 topic that came up, cross-chain, and hopefully the new experience will satisfy our users. And finally, AI-assisted trading. So I'm very passionate about AI. This was my expertise prior to getting into crypto, and with the state of the art, there's a lot of opportunities, and we are right now taking a conservative approach, looking at more AI assistance, not letting AI do things for you, but assisting our users and trying different things. One is real-time market intelligence, providing more analysis and more information to users very quickly in the tip of their hands. Cross-chain optimization, again, when a user comes and clueless about, let's say, the liquidity depth in a certain chain or for the asset they are swapping, providing insights for a cross-chain world, I think is going to be really important. And also automated transaction preparation. Imagine that you have a chat interface, you're discussing your trade, and everything finally is pre-populated in the interface and all the settings that you want. And again, this is a great opportunity for, I think, these current AI models. And finally, personalized portfolio intelligence, an agent that knows your portfolio, your wallet contents, and again, making recommendations personalized to you, and even remembering your history, hopefully in the future. So this is a feature that is coming soon, not this new update that I mentioned with cross-chains, which is happening in a couple of weeks. But this Odos AI helper, probably by the end of the summer, is gonna look like that, a chat interface like you see when you wanna do a swap, providing you a little bit more information and giving you a final, basically an information about what you will receive, the fees, and even comparisons between different options to guide users. So we'll see how this kind of language interfaces will evolve in DeFi. I'm sure you know that many projects and new projects are developing and thinking that language will be the normal way of interacting with protocols. I'm not sure yet, but I think we want to give users the option and observe and see how they are using it, what are the benefits, And of course, security is always on top of mind for us, and we'll make sure that we do this experimentation in a careful manner. And I think my last slide here is, again, excitement about all the tokenizations that are going on this week, like Robinhood announcement about tokenized stocks, I think was a big thing. But remember, we've been swapping has been mainly about BTC, ETH, and other alt tokens. Of course, stable coins, meme token craziness still happening. But more and more, we are going into a tokenization of everything, all assets kind of territory. And what we are, again, emphasizing here is by tokenizing everything, you're just adding new nodes on that graph that I showed you at the beginning. So that graph is getting complicated with all kinds of different assets, and you need a navigation tool. Without navigation, you won't be able to get efficient results, and inefficiencies will discourage people to come on chain. So navigation, order routing for any tokenized asset, it could be real estate next time we are here, will be really essential. And really, currently, a lot of people are not, I think, looking at aggregation and order routing as a fundamental value proposition. But more and more, as this complexity happens, you will see that you can't be in just one silo and do your swap, but you need aggregation tools and optimized order routing. And we'd like to be, building and continue to improve our solution in the space and bring value to all our users. And again, thanks for listening and coming here, and would love to get your questions.
Thank you for the presentation. This is really good. Just curious how you're doing cross-chain swaps in a single transaction. And how do you handle estimates when it comes to gas, slippage, and things of this sort? Doesn't have to be a comprehensive response, but just curious.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not a single transaction, right? You still have to bridge, but Across is basically a relayer-based solution that basically, market makers, relayers are taking the risk. So what we do is we are swapping into a stable asset, and then in the destination chain from that stable asset to the final token. But I think the final end game is hopefully when you have shared sequencers and when you have true atomicity across chains, we can do true, routing across chains and with a unified liquidity. But we are not there yet. This is, I think, is just a step in that direction.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. I'm curious about the path selection. Can you give a bit more insight? Are you using traditional network flow algorithm to find the path within the different swap, or are you using some specific customization for DeFi?
Yeah, for path optimization, we are using our own algorithm that we developed. So it is again one of the you can call graph optimization algorithms, but it's customized for this specific problem. I think, as you know, there are many different algorithms like modified Dijkstra algorithm, etc. We are not using it. We are using a gradient-based approach and going from a, basically full graph and slowly pruning and approaching to a, final result. But yeah, we have a patent application that you can read more about it. Yeah, I think there are more details if you want to see it there.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for the talk. On MEV protection, can you just expand a bit more? What methods do you use to enable this protection?
So for MEV protection, so we are of course working with partners like in this case Bloxroute, but with the protected swap, so we are basically using an intent-based solution, and it's not like external solvers. So in the protected swap, it's basically we are the solver, and when a code request comes, it's not public. So we are actually protecting users rather than broadcasting the swap they're providing. And in, of course, order routing, by splitting the order in many different chunks and doing this complex routing, actually the opportunity for MEV is really very little. And But of course, private layers are, of course, another protection layer that you can add on top. Yeah.
Hello, thank you very much for the talk. I want to know if the cross-chain part is only integrated into the front end, or do you have an API?
An API will be coming soon as well. So yeah, we will support an API. Not currently, but within a month it will be available. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again. Thanks for coming.